And we continue now with the next overarching theme, which is new approaches in the study of the past. Future as a broader topic for the understanding of the past's present. And here we turn to the past, to a very broad understanding of the past and, of course, of the role of history and, in particular, archaeology. And we have two keynotes in this context by Dr. Nicholas Dunning on the one side and Eduardo Neves on the other. And we start with a short comment by Nick Dunning, who is a geographer and archaeologist in one person. His main research interest and focus is the human adaptation to the ecosystem and to the environment in the Maya lowlands. And this is Nick Dunning from the University of Cincinnati.
It's nice to be back at the University of Bonn. Last time I was here was in 1990, just after I had completed my PhD, and I think I know a little bit more now, but we'll see. The future of Mesoamerican archaeology needs to be multidisciplinary, integrated, and encompass humanistic, social scientific, and natural scientific perspectives, methods, and data. To illustrate, in my keynote address, I'm going to examine three facets of ancient Maya life: reservoirs, urban agriculture, and forest management. Ancient reservoirs are a window into both the past and the future. Reservoirs were an essential component of urbanization in the elevated interior region of the Maya lowlands, this core region where natural water sources are extremely scarce, and given the seasonality of rainfall in the Maya lowlands, harnessing water, actively harnessing water or harvesting water was a essential part of urbanization in this area. The harnessing of water actively involved the ancient Maya in an act of creation, centering communities in both a symbolic and pragmatic way. And we'll look at both of those. The reservoirs the ancient Maya left behind are also archives of archaeological and paleo-environmental information, which need to be carefully examined to help reveal the origins and functions of these ancient communities, and to open a wealth of paleo-environmental data, including ancient pollen and eDNA. Such data reveal that while the construction of reservoirs allowed for the concentration of urban population in the elevated interior region, it also made these same populations highly vulnerable to environmental perturbation, especially drought. For example, geochemical and DNA analyses of reservoir sediments from Tikal indicate that the water in the city's center became very dangerous to consume in the Terminal Classic period, shortly before before the site was largely abandoned. Harvesting rainwater offers a valuable means for improving life in the Maya world today and into the future, but it must be pursued with extreme caution. There are prices to be paid if it is not done carefully. The paleo-environmental archives in reservoir sediments are also a window into the nature of ancient Maya urban agriculture. The production of food and other plant-based resources within cities was critical for the function of these communities. An array of methods should be used to recover information on this crucial component of ancient Maya life, including geo-archeological assays of ancient land use, macrobotanical recovery, local pollen analysis, and forest survey. When such approaches are used, we can develop a picture of the complex and diverse nature of Maya garden cities. Among other things, the Mesoamerican triad, maize, beans, and squash, was just a tiny bit of the picture in terms of the diversity of agriculture that the ancient Maya were practicing. There are many other things, including 4 different root crops that are much more difficult to detect in the paleoenvironmental record unless you really, really try. Such integrated studies also reveal the delicate balance that developed between agricultural and forested land in the ancient Maya landscape, between the need to provide food, fuel, and other resources to a growing population. Too often, we have ignored the very high wood demands that were part of the ancient economy and the implication of these needs for modeling the nature of ancient land use. Essentially, the Maya became engaged in a zero-sum game. That is, if you needed to put more land into agricultural production, it meant that the forest and the fuel associated with that resource and other resources provided by the forest declined, and there was a high price to pay for that. Understanding the ecosystem services provided by forests, as well as their basic role in the regional energy economy, is essential not only for understanding the delicate balances within the ancient landscape, but also for gaining insight into the pressures characteristic of today's rapidly changing human-forest interface. Thank you.